And then do I select a profile, or is it just going to do our Utlyze profile?
Profile, so you have to send them the link to see it.
Okay. So, and now it's recording, right? Or no?
Recording and live.
Recording and live right now, even though this isn't red?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we add another profile to it?
You have to go into the Roadcaster
app and then set up links?
And there's like a stream profile in that main where you can select like scene builder and all that.
Yeah.
And then you have the profile in there.
Okay. So right now, what are they seeing when this streams? Are they seeing this right here? These three?
Because it's set on screen 1.
So now it's set on that as the primary, and that's what they're seeing?
Should be able to put auto, and then it should, if you talk right now.
Okay. If I'm talking into this, it should be triggering, so it's setting off that, correct?
It should.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be setting it off for some reason.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Oh, there it goes.
We're good now.
Yep,
So,
it just took a second.
dude, this is all right. This will work.
So to switch auto, you push and hold, and when this turns to blue,
it's on?
That auto switching should be on.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was on when it was green.
Yeah, it's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of dumb.
But to go live, it's like that. This little square it shows recording in the main screen. You click that, and that's how you go live on there. I don't know how to do it through that. Only through there.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so like you said, this is a process and we're figuring it out. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys the URL that you're looking for. And I'm going to close this out so it's not disturbing life as we know it. So let's go here. All the secrets of the universe right there. We'll go to YouTube. So we'll go here, we'll switch accounts. We'll go to here, which is where we're at right now. I know you're seeing all behind the scenes right now. And then here we go to view your channel. And right now we are live, so we're going to go ahead and go into that. I'm going to go ahead and share this with the team so that they have it and they can go through it and look at it. All right, so we're working on a number of things right now, you guys, bringing you on to this. What we're focused on right now, as you know, is we are working on the screen system here. I'm going to log us into the studio remotely. Okay, and then you can see where we've been working on GPT. See if I can get this to close here. Doesn't matter. So right here is where we're working. And this is what we've been working on. Let me pull this down. It's got delay because I'm doing it through several systems at once instead of just one directly. As you can see, it's glitchy. There we go. All right, so what we're focused on right now is we've been basically coming up with this idea of how we're going to build this out to market in a single day. Now, for most people, this would not be a task that would be possible, but we're going to go through it and work on it and see what we can do. So if you guys have comments or you want to add here to the chat thread, please do. And what you think of where we're at. Right, here's where we have to look at first. Per company source pack. High trust inputs, website pages, blog, RSS, press releases. So if they're not producing this content, then we need to be producing it for them, ideally. And essentially, we need to have a PR person that's the AI agent. And that's what we're going to be creating for one firm to start with, to test it out, and then build it out so it's modular and we can scale it. That will be the best route to go, I think, in geometry. I think of what's the simplest component set we can use that then we can replicate and size it out for any scale. On their behalf. That's what we're going to have it doing. All right, so we wanted to focus on that, building on their behalf. And then we go here. And then we'll start building this here in a minute on the studio locally. So what we're going to do here, just to kind of get started on this is one platform we're building. And we'll build it out so it can handle a lot of different things. Sweet. Glad you guys are both there. We'll let GPT type this out, and then we'll start building it locally. And what we'll attempt to do with the first round is we will try to use Claude code as a way to illustrate. One thing with Claude is you have to make sure to guardrail it and inform it very clearly of everything it needs to do, what exists, what does not exist. Otherwise, it makes a lot of assumptions. And the more you plan out in the beginning of what you want to do, the better off you're going to be at building anything in this environment. Man, GPT's taken a long time to type that up. I'd like to look at how we're going to properly share our screen too with the feed so that it doesn't become an issue for people. Because I'd like them to be able to switch and just see the screen instead of me. I need to talk to Cody about that and how we want to set that up accordingly. But while we're here and looking at this, my mindset is ask questions about what your assumptions are. If you think you know how to do something, don't assume you're right. Question yourself and work with that to build accordingly. Which reminds me, I need to share something with Mike. We'll work on the screen stuff later, you guys. I can see that's not going to be tenable for us. All right, let's take a look at the MVP for this. Okay. So it says 1 LinkedIn post per day for one business. Okay. Maintain truthfulness. Every factual claim is supported by stored sources, or I would say industrially validated through trending data as well. Keep architecture extensible, add new networks by adding layers of connectors, not rewrite. Non-goals. I love the non-goals. This is very important. This is a new thing that they do now. The anti-goal is extremely important to curve the AI's thought process around what it needs to do. So like non-goals, multi-firm, self-serve onboarding, no. Multi-network, no. Fully autonomous posting without any human gate, optional. Autopilot later. So it is something that we can put in there. We'll set it up right now to where we have it gated for drafts and then approvals. Tenant isolation by design. Calendar UI, monthly, good. Product requirements. Architecture. Good. Acceptance criteria. All right, so here's what we do. We go here and we grab this. Let's see, let me make sure I have this all right. So what I'm gonna do is I took all that information and I'm gonna open a new chat now, primarily because I want to use a heavier model for this. It's right here, just so you guys know. Let's see how we do this correctly here. There's a few ways I can do this. Well, we're going to do this 2 ways, okay? We're going to do a side by side here. I'm going to open a new chat. I have it on Pro. I do it on the highest level of thinking. And I say, research and expand to create a truly thorough set of design documents. I'll explain this in a second. This is going to take it a hot minute. So to walk you through what I've done here is working on writing this out. The key is that you want to make sure that you are covering your bases up front. And the reason I'm using such a powerful model for something that's not necessarily that difficult to do is working with the GPT Pro model is one of the most expensive models to work with, which means it's the most intelligent. It is literally that way. Intelligence is a commodity now. You get what you pay for. And that's why you have to work with the absolute best models, or you're going to get subpar results. And the other thing is, that's actually the only thing. It thinks very clearly. It's truly brilliant right now. I'm very much looking forward to the new releases that will be coming out here soon. In fact, I'm just going to check it. Nothing. Hopeful that we'll see 5.3 here soon, or 5.0 Pro. But we have this right now that started thinking this through for us. So since we have a task there already going, what would we do next that we need to look at? So this is something I want to show you guys that is another project we're working on that we have here locally that needs a little bit of love. By a little, I mean a lot. So let's go to that. This is the front end for it. This is called Marketing of One. So this system is supposed to take our Utlyze podcast. Essentially, if we had multiple streams of footage, it could take a multicam here, and you could add a session. You can upload it directly. This is actually living on the studio right now. We do need to debug this and make sure it's functional to be able to go out to all the systems. Here's our AI tracking. You can go and try to log into this live, by the way, marketingofone.com, and go and take a look at the internals here and what we have set up. You can mess with the cutting, the captions, the media. A lot of this does need to be built out further, but we do have quite a bit of extensible here. So no clips here found to put into here, but we can get some and put them in, theoretically. This is built in, backdoored into DaVinci Resolve. It does have that built out. Here's where you connect socials. I'll disable that billing part so we can just get the socials wired into here. Let's see here. Noticing mine admin. If we want to go in, we could debug this site. How we would do that to get started here. Let's see, who do we have working on what right now? Fully guarantee this on Telegram. No, here we go. So I'm having Claude go in and do some work there. But right now, this is the thing, you guys don't need to sit here and stay on board for all of this, and it makes it hard because there's a lot of back and forth in doing this right. Okay, different stuff there. Where are you? There you are. Okay. here we go. So Pro's still thinking about this, and that will be a hot minute before it's done. So what can I be teaching you right now in the meantime that would be important? You need to make sure that you're equipping your AI with all the right tools. So we can go into some of that right now. So one thing, iShare, not worth it, you guys. 10 profiles to $300 a month. It is so much better for us just to build it. It takes us a few days to do it, but we can build out every single app we need and test it in that time. It's not hard anymore to do these things. We just have to do it. And if you look here, enterprise, real-time X and Twitter webhooks, like that's stupid sauce. You can do limited free posting on X. You have to be careful about it, but you can do it without breaking any of the terms and conditions. So what I'm going to do right now is go to bookmarks and get some items to share with you guys. First of all, this is one you're going to want for our dev team. This is an updated Vercel MCP that will do the debugging for you. You're going to want that. So I'm going to send that here in this group. Oops, sorry about that. Delete. That doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything. It does not help any of us. And I know why we're having issues. Okay. We'll fix that problem right now. Yeah, I have a serious problem, I know. All right, so this is a really cool guy to follow, by the way. Ishan Sagal, he started Omnara, and he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's in the space. He's trying to move really fast. So let's go right here to bookmarks, and let me actually copy this properly and share it with you guys. For hosting error log management. And then right here is a really good tool, okay? They do have an API for this and an MCP set up already for Stitch, which for any of our front-end work, this is a phenomenal tool. It allows us to quickly build out all of our interface interactions. And then we can take that and directly port it to build out all of our front end that we need in any design we want, and we can pre-design it and understand good UI, good UX, interacting with an AI to make sure everything is properly built prior to going to market with it. And we get a lot of user feedback. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you build it day one, you show it to them day one, and then you start building it day one. And then day two, you're done with an MVP. So right here, this is also, I'm going to share this first. Take a look at Stitch if you haven't, and if you haven't heard of it, it's something to learn up on. It's an amazing tool. Okay, so we have that. And then right here, this is an entirely new tool these guys are working on right now. I haven't had a chance to look at it, and I think it is open source. I need to verify that. But basically, it's a A to UI type infrastructure, which is AI to user interface interactions right here. This is one that's a bit deeper than what we're working on right now, but this is the direction we have to take a lot of our products. And we're going to be taking a lot of websites as they have to do complete rebuilds to stay in business. And we're going to want to make sure that they have that information that they need to stay relevant. So this is for A to UI interface. Think reimagining of websites. replace websites the way websites replace brick and mortar. See here, what's another new feature that I can share with you guys to help you while it's going through stuff. There is one down here. You see, this is amazing, by the way, Cling 3, and the results they got out of this. Freaking amazing. No, we don't need that. Sorry, I'm going so slow here. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with a lot of systems, but let me actually share one. This is something you want. Let me walk through a little bit of what this tool is, you guys. This is really a neat one. So that tool I just shared with you guys is essentially skills. They're superpower skills you can give to your agent. Among them is brainstorming. Another one is literally called superpowers. And I think it's one of the best ones that it has. Superpowers, what it does is it will go and basically meta prompt the AI to think, what skills do I need to accomplish this? And it will look through its skills inventory and consider if it has to build a new skill, and it will build the skills, which is extremely good for prompt adherence and helping maintain context management or focus for the AI. You'll get a lot better results using that tool. Another tool that's built into there is testing first build outs. So what it will do is it will programmatically instruct the AI that when it's coding, it will build its tests for validation and verification before it ever builds out the product. Therefore, it will go out and code up your tests, and it won't consider the work done until all the tests pass. And in this way, you can engineer with a lot more constraint and control around your baseline product. It's got a lot of other stuff built in there that you guys are going to like. So I highly recommend that one. There is one more that I think you guys would benefit from right now that I want to share with you. Let me see if I can find it. I'm getting closer. I haven't saved a lot recently, to be honest. I haven't had enough time to really do any research. I'll change that though. Let's see, what do we got here? And I think also the chat just finished. I just got notified, so I'm going to go jump on there. Then I have to take you guys somewhere else. I need to make sure you guys understand and know some other things. Thank you for that comment. That helps me a lot in knowing what to share with you guys. This is a good one, skills. This is for aesthetics. This is a place basically in love with this aesthetic here. The skill is just about how to build, like in that design structure. That's a fun one. But there's one I'm looking for in particular. I'm going to go through and just search for it. That's cool. Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm just looking here. Yeah, I know you open source the ADUI protocol. That's what's causing people to build a lot of these systems. I think it's JSON to UI is what it is. There it is. Yep, JSON render. So this is one you guys are going to want to look at because this is the future right here. No one's doing this yet, and they need to be, because this is where we want to be positioning ourselves. This is something to play with right now, but these are basically where we're going to be doing a lot of interactions in the future. So there's that. And now we're going to go back over here to this, and we'll see where we're at here, if we got it done or not. Okay, let's zoom out of here. There we go. Oh boy, you're still thinking. Okay. Do you see how this works? Let's see, how long's it been going for now, guys? I'm trying to look, but I'm on a weird screen, so it's janky to move it around. Wow, that was really dramatic. Okay, 14 minutes in. Not too bad, honestly. So while that's working over there, we'll go over here, and I'm going to take you guys to some other stuff that you need to see. These are places to start. MCP. So I'm sure you guys have visited here, but if you haven't, we got to come and look at this. So this gives you an idea of some of the different MCPs people have built. But here's the reality. If you can get the docs, you can do it in 10 seconds. It's super easy to do. But these are different things that you can look at and different MCPs you can consider. Don't rebuild what you don't need to. If somebody's already built it, go take it. But right here, though, there's a bit of a downside, I think. Let me make sure. Let me click on Bright Data. Nope, this is perfect. So it takes you directly to where they're building it, which brings me to another architecture I need to show you guys. Part of the architecture that I build with and use is this one right here. The beads architecture. GitHub. Here it is. So let me go through this with you guys really quick so you understand it. The beads overall architectural structuring is right here. And what you have here is your CLI layer, bead create, list, update, close, ready, etc., etc. Short answer is it's task management built for an AI. It's AI first mentality. It's got various levels and depths, and it's essentially a permanent history. So let's say you get wiped mid-work, you can have this still there and start over. So hash-based collision prevention, the key insight that enables distributed operation, content-based hashing for deduplication. The problem, sequential, like that, cause collisions when multiple agents create issues concurrently. Branch A goes to that, goes to that. This manages all that for you, especially if you try to work in a team. But you don't want to work in a team. You want 30 agents doing your bidding. So we'll go here. We'll give you this. So we have that. And then I'm trying to think of some other things that we can go over here. There's so much fun stuff in this world. There really is. If you guys haven't seen this yet, this is a fun one. It's very viral. When was the last time he updated it? 1 hour ago. Love it. This guy's freaking a monster. He goes so fast. So here's the idea. You have your given workspace, which is your entire computer. And then you have a project. This is one project you're working on. This works really good with Claude Code, by the way. You have an AI mayor that coordinates the whole thing. It manages all the system architecture for you. Then you have your rigs, rig project B, rig project A, and you can look here, you have your crew member, which is basically where you're working with an agent to code. And then you have your hooks. This is persistent storage, it's guidance, it's what keeps crap moving in the system. Your polecats are your workers, those are your sub-agents. And then you have the same thing over in the next branch, okay? The core concept here, so you understand it, is your primary AI coordinator is your mayor. Mayor is a Claude Code instance with full context about your workspace, okay? Then you have your workspace directory. Contains all projects, agents, and configurations. You have your rigs. Those are each project. your crew members. This is the workspace within a rig where you do the hands-on work, working with the agent, coding yourself, debugging, helping, etc. Polecats, worker agents with persistent identity but ephemeral sessions. So what that means is spawn for tasks, sessions end on completion, but identity and work history persists. So before it didn't have identity, he just had work history. It means he found some value in doing that and updated it. Convoys are essentially sprints. It's basically entire features or an entire project, to be honest, depending on how big it is. And it's backed by the bead integration, which I just shared with you. So I will share this with you. If you want to set this up and play with it, you can. And if you can use it to multitask, I'd like to see how effective you guys can be with it, but it is not a priority. So there's that. That gives you a lot there to work with. I think I've given you guys more than enough to satiate you, and now we can look at the project and where we're at. So I'm going to walk through this with you guys and give you some of my thought process. If you guys have feedback or want to make comments, text, or honestly write in the chat. AI won't respond unless you do at ChatGPT. So let's take a full look at this. Full design doc set you can hand to engineering, QA, and product. Cool. It's intentionally verification first. Every workflow step produces auditable artifacts, snapshots, claims, evidence, approvals, republish receipts, metric snapshots, and the system refuses to proceed when the invariants are not met. Ooh, I love it. So document index, you have your PRD, you have your architect spec, you have your system design, you have your data model and DB schema, you have your API specification, state machines, LinkedIn connector design, perfect, ingestion firm, profile builder, analytics and learning loop, security, privacy, compliance, observability, operations, testing, strategy, TDD. And beads backlog expanded. Good. Epics, tasks, dependencies, test deliverables. And that's really a huge part of beads, is to make sure you manage dependencies correctly. Because an AI doesn't know what you don't tell it, and every session is a restart. And that's one of the hardest things being human working with AI is it doesn't remember anything that you've talked to it about ever, under any circumstances, yet. And I'd say for now, that's the best assumption to work with, is to assume it doesn't know, but yet that becomes very tiring to continually have to retell it. But you have to learn how to do that, and it takes discipline, and you're going to forget, and you're going to make mistakes. So instead of trying to, how do I put it, make the system change for you, change to work with the system and build infrastructure in the back end. So build the system for you. I said that completely wrong. So just take back everything I just said. And you want to build the architecture so it does anything you need. So for your day-to-day workflows, you're going to want command line interface tools and MCPs for Clerk. I would say GitHub. You're also going to need it for Supabase. You're going to need it for Railway, and you're going to need it for Vercel. And I can share those tokens with you later. We can do that tonight. We also want to get you set up on Tailscale so you're connected into our network. And you can start working on stuff there as well. You can SSH in with an agent from your system and have it work remotely into the computer, which we've done quite a bit of. So you can have context local and you can build out that way. Another thing to look at is what would be the best memory system to use with your system, and have it be on a per project basis, not just an agent's MD file, but have a memory system that we use that's built into the repositories, and then have it built into the agent's file to call it and do requirements on updating. Something we can do there in the workflow that we haven't done yet that we should do and we can do is embedding architecture into each of our projects, where it is automatically pulling from any given chat that's working on the repo and embedding memories of progression I'd have to think of how we would want to manage that, but it would be a good way to have a PM for each project, potentially an OpenClaw that manages each system and can make sure that there's no deviation, or at least keep track of it. If it tracks every change across the system and its only job is to have a memory of it all, we can ask it openly on like, are there any contradictions within this system? And that can facilitate a lot. All right, so looking here, I'm just going to read through this. Build a tenant scoped firm content agent that produces one canonical citation grounded blog post per day for a single firm. Generates a LinkedIn variant, routes through approval plus scheduling, and publishes via a LinkedIn connector boundary. And pulls metrics back into the firm's memory to improve future topic selection and formatting. Okay. Goals, MVP, publish per day, extensible architecture, performance feedback loop. So these are 3 major goals here. So non-goals, self-serve. We don't want that. We don't want multi-tenant. We've gone over these things a bit, but it built it out for us more. Actually, make sure if we're on the right thing. Good, we are. As you can see, there's a lot there that it built out. So here's what I'm going to do. We have all this right here, right? And you can see this, I imagine, so you can go get a look at it. But what we can do, I need to give you guys full access to different projects, and that's one of the things that I can get behind really fast on things. But let's get this started. And I just want to take you through the flow. As you can see, GPT 5.2 is very, very thorough. So I want to change this thinking down to auto and ask it, what would be the value of item 2, the beads seed graph? So as you can see, there really is a lot of planning that goes into this. And you saw how much I actually reviewed it, right? Which isn't enough, to be frank with you, but I want to get us on the ground running and do edits as we need to. But I also know the reliability of GPT 5.2 Pro is extremely high. So I can trust it to produce really high quality results without concern with it missing the mark and not doing its due diligence. So you're looking at about $30 per call to use it. So we've got this working. This will probably take another 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. It could take 5. But I've given you guys a few different things there to look at. What I will do when this is done is I need to get you guys keys to these different systems. We need to get you set up on Tailscale. So we're going to go into here. So now I'm asking it, what is the best path? And yeah, you guys don't have that PRD right now. I just realized that because I built it out on something separate. Awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to log in. I might need to be careful about what I reveal because it's my freaking tail skill. So we're just going to wait on that. I'll do that after. Sometimes I don't think. It's not uncommon. Let's see here. Let's go down to this. So it's still thinking there, but I am going to go ahead and get this for you guys and send it to you. Best way to do that, I guess, would be over email, wouldn't it? So right here, I'm going to send this off to Mateo. And Adrian. Then we can send it to Mike. Cody, Utlyze, PRD. Now. Oh boy, that is not useful because it's also on the wrong freaking system. I always do that. All right. As painful as this is, we will go back over to here. My brain is dying. It's too late in the day. All right, back to here. And I've got this still copied. Now I'll just go ahead and open this here, which I'm already on. There we go. Boom. I'll send it to Jason too, so he's in the loop. So right now it's building that out for us. I'll send you guys the follow-up here in a minute with the completed architecture of the bead system there. But what we're going to do is this is basically a brief demo of the process flow. You use whatever model you have. So in your case, you're using Claude Code, so you would load up Cowork, and I can do that in the next one, where we go in, we research a topic of whatever it is we're going to build, and we figure out what is the quickest thing we can build with that produces the highest results, 80-20 rule. And we get that out. Like, we look at the broad spectrum up front, so we think about how do we grow it, and then we delete and refine it down to the simplest thing. And then we release that one function. That's how we do this, one step at a time. That is the best way that we've found to do this process, and that is what I recommend to you. So there's that. I'm going to peace out now, because this is going to actually, I think, go public automatically. I think that my system automatically renders this to be able to be shareable. And I don't think it's going to be as useful as you want. I've got to figure out how to set up the Rodecaster so that you can see my screen directly. I've got to work with Cody on that later tonight. But if you guys have any questions, you know where to get me. So hit me up and we'll go from there. But this is a basic intro of some of this. There's a lot to this. And one thing that you can do to help you move faster, let me give you some stuff here to look at. So this is something I'm working on here, but I can open this up to a new one. This is Cowork, right? And in Cowork, you can do a lot of things. So let's look at the plugin section. So right here, these are different plugins that are just offered automatically, okay? Then you can go down here and you can add other marketplaces to improve this. But that's not where the real power of Cowork even comes into play. The real power of Cowork is in setting up the skills. So if I go into here, and I go into settings, capabilities, make sure everything in here is on. You want all the power. And then here you can actually put in actual skills. And you can see here, I don't have any in this account. Great. You go over here and you have your connectors. These are different things you can connect to your system. You want to definitely have GitHub connected. It can help you out to have your Outlook connected right here. Configure, those are already online. Cloud code. Whoa. That's a lot of authentication tokens. Oh well. Co-work, let's see what we have here. Global instructions. Edit. This is something I need to actually figure out. There's something I need to go into here and do later, but I don't want to reveal everything here because of how much, there's a lot of privacy stuff there. But we'll stop with this. I'm going to end the video if I can. And you guys can hit me up. I will be working tonight. How do you stop it, Cody? Do I just tap that button of doom?